for patterns, tricks, stitches and tips, wands and needles, embroidery.
In this video, we're going to look at Lazy Daisy stitch. This stitch is also known as detached chain stitch. And for this stitch, you're just going to bring your needle up through the back of your fabric, right at the tapered end of your stitch. And you're going to bring the needle right back down through that same hole. Now, if you've just started a new piece of thread, you're going to want to be mindful of the knot that's on the back of the fabric. Just kind of use one of your fingers to kind of slide that knot out of the way. That way your needle does not catch that knot as you're coming back down through that hole. Also be mindful not to poke yourself with that needle. Keep your finger well out of the way. And then as you pull that through, you're going to want to leave a small loop on the top of your fabric. You're going to bring your needle back up through at the far end of where you want that stitch to lay, right through the center of that loop. And then you're just going to pull that tight. And that thread's going to catch that loop. And then you're going to do a small stitch over the top of the loop and come back down through your fabric on the outside of the loop. And that's just going to secure everything in place. So sometimes you'll do an individual Lazy Daisy stitch like you have here, or sometimes you'll do a cluster of them to make something like a flower. So it's going to be that same technique, bringing your needle up through the back of the fabric, back down through that same hole, leave a loop on top of your fabric, come back up through the center of that loop, and then you want to make sure you're pulling your thread in the direction that you want that stitch to lay. I'll show you in a minute why that's important. You're going to secure that loop in place by bringing your needle back down through on the outside of that loop. Bring the needle up through, back down through the same hole, and up through the center of that loop. And then you'll see if I pull my thread in the wrong direction, I lose the shape of my loop there. So it's real important that as you're pulling that thread through, you go in the direction that you want that stitch to lay. And then that thread will catch that loop and you'll secure everything in place by bringing your needle back down on the outside of the loop. We're just going to continue around in that same pattern, creating our little cluster of Lazy Daisies here. But always leave that loop on the top of your fabric. Come up through the center of that loop. Pull the thread in the direction you want your stitch to lay. And bring the needle back down through on the outside of the loop to secure everything in place. Just one more to go here. Again, bringing that needle up through the back of the fabric, back down through that same hole. Leave the loop laying on top of your fabric. Bring your needle back up through the middle of that loop. Pull in the direction you want your stitch to lay. And then bring your needle back down on the outside of that loop, securing everything in place. That is how you do Lazy Daisy stitch.